Do you happen to remember when Hurricane Michael hit the Florida Panhandle? There's been a lot of hurricanes, so it's hard to remember which one came when, but we live here in Florida, and this was on the front cover of the local newspaper. And this was Hurricane Michael in Mexico Beach on the Florida Panhandle in 2018. And what's amazing about this picture of devastation and sadness is there's one house that looks almost unaffected by the hurricane. And the first question that comes to mind for the average person is, how in the world does that house stand and look like that after almost everything around them is completely leveled and devastated? And even the house behind them is not in that bad a condition because it was guarded and protected by this house. The reason this house is standing and looks almost unaffected by a Category 5 hurricane is because this house is built with insulated concrete forms. That means that the pillars and the walls all the way up the house are poured with poured concrete with vertical steel running in and horizontal steel. That is the reason that that house has stood and stood so strong. Now you might be thinking, Pete, that's a great story, but how does that affect my life? The way that this could affect your life is the way we plan for retirement. The reason this relates to your retirement so much is because we see people that are just before retirement or already retired, and they have almost all their money. We break and categorize money into 3 different buckets. Your blue bucket, money at the bank, your protected income money, the green bucket, and the red bucket is money in the stock market. We see people that have almost everything in stocks, bonds, and mutual funds, and we like having money there also. But the problem is when you get closer to retirement or in retirement, if the market were to have a really big downfall, a big drawdown, like it has had twice in the last 25 years, it could decimate your retirement if it was an account that you had to pull income from. And if it's an account with a lot of volatility, when the market's down, if you got to pull money out, you're going to sell at a loss. What that can do is devastate your retirement like a storm, a financial storm could devastate your retirement like this hurricane devastated these houses. Now, I hope that doesn't happen, and it may not happen, but the thing I want you to think about is, do you want to plan for retirement hoping everything is going to turn out? Or do you want to make sure in retirement you're going to guarantee things are going to turn out? The only way to do that is to build things the correct way. So while it's good to have money in stocks, bonds, and mutual funds, and I use Charles Schwab as my custodian, as an advisor, and I think it's great to have money there, you also want to have some of your money safe, guaranteed, and protected that will stand like this house built out of concrete. Because you don't know what the future holds. I don't know what the future holds. Why not be prepared for both? Have the growth potential to keep up with inflation, but let's have some protection where if some black swan or some financial storm happens, we want to make sure that you're okay. I want to make sure if you're married, your spouse is okay, your kids and your grandkids, and that you can do the things in retirement that you want to be able to do. You don't want to have a big storm come and decimate 40, 50 years of working and looking forward to doing all the things you couldn't do while you're working. We don't want something to destroy that. So if we're involved in helping you or for the people we work with, we want some of your money to be safe, guaranteed, and protected so that if a financial storm happens, then your house will be standing. You won't be affected by the hurricane around. That is part of sound planning. If you want to build your financial retirement to look more like that house during and after a storm, make sure to subscribe to our channel down below.